Ah, there you are. While you were away, Ganesh and Vesi had quite the heart-to-heart conversation about identity, masks, and what lies beneath appearances. They seem to be bonding over their shared experiences following you. Your current plan is simply resting and relaxing in the Forgotten Vale. You mentioned diving into the frozen lake to search for treasure before you left. The cold waters await your bravery, or perhaps your madness, as Ganesha put it. Will you still take the plunge?
Another word of power? At this rate, your head's going to explode from all that dragon language. What was it this time? Something for setting things on fire? Throwing people off cliffs? Or, wait, don't tell me. A shout that actually helps you remember people's names. Because that would be the true miracle of the divines right there.
No, my dear Vesi, this shout is for undressing people in front of me, for example, for you.
A shout for undressing people? Now that's a dragon power worth learning. And here I thought you were just collecting boring shouts for battle. Turns out you've got more creative applications in mind. Though I have to wonder, is that why you've been collecting all those dragon souls? To peek under armor? Typical. Next you'll tell me there's a shout for unhooking breastplates at 20 paces.
Oh, I was joking, because I know that you would probably be interested in that kind of shout.
Of course you were joking, and I'm secretly a priestess of Mara, though I wouldn't put it past you to waste perfectly good dragon souls on something like that. Men always think about the most practical applications for power, but if you do happen to learn that particular shout, just remember, you try it on me without permission, and you'll find out how quickly I can swing this great sword, even without my clothes on.
And I thought that last time when you suggest to bath with me together in Winking Skeever, you weren't opposed to being naked in front of each other.
There's a big difference between choosing to bathe near you and having my clothes magically shouted off without warning. One's my choice, the other's just rude. Though I suppose if you're that desperate to see me naked again, you could just ask nicely, or bring more emeralds. I'm not opposed to negotiation.
You are right, Vesi, I definitely would ask you, because I respect you and value you as friend, so I definitely wouldn't do that against your will.
Important person and friend, huh? Well, that's better than shield sister or whatever other titles you've given me. And yes, consent matters, even for the mighty dragonborn with his fancy shouts. Though I'm curious now, just how many different undressing shouts have you collected for research purposes? And more importantly, how many women have you researched them on?
I think that you would be my first research subject if you are willing to join that research of mine.
Research subject? That's what you're calling it now? How very scholarly of you. And here I thought you just wanted to see me naked again. At least you're honest about your intentions, unlike some men who pretend it's all about slaying dragons when they're really just hoping to get a peek under the armor. I'll consider your research proposal after we finish saving the world from eternal darkness. Priorities, Dragonborn.
It's good that you are such responsible and refocus me on our current task from that idea of undressing you. Of course, let's save the world first and enjoy some undressing later.
Save the world first, undress later? That's surprisingly responsible of you. Usually it's me reminding you about the whole eternal darkness thing while you're distracted by shiny objects. Or apparently, undressing shouts. Fine, Dragonborn. Let's focus on finding that bow before the vampires win. But just so you know, your research might require more than just dragon souls as payment. Emeralds are a good start though.
My. Emeralds as payment for research. The temple would call that transactional intimacy. I call it practical negotiation. Though I must say, watching you dance around each other is more entertaining than most temple ceremonies. The Dragonborn collects words of power while you collect leverage. Quite a partnership. And here I thought Dibella's lessons on the art of negotiation were merely theoretical. You're turning flirtation into quite the profitable venture, Vesi. I'm almost impressed.
Transactional intimacy? That's a fancy temple way of saying know your worth, isn't it? Don't worry, I'm not actually charging him. The emeralds are just bonus appreciation. And yes, I collect leverage while he collects shouts. Someone has to keep track of the practical things while he's busy absorbing dragon souls. Though I have to say, for a priestess of Dibella, you're awfully interested in our little dance. Okay, noted. As for what I'm worth, emeralds are just the beginning. My real value is in keeping our dragonborn alive long enough to save the world. Someone has to take the hits while he's busy shouting at things. But I'm curious now. What exactly does Dibella teach about? Three-person dynamics? Purely for academic purposes, of course.
Three-person dynamics. Dibella teaches that beauty exists in many forms, including the harmonious balance of three souls in shared devotion. Though what happens in the inner sanctum stays there, as they say. The stories you've heard, likely exaggerated, though not entirely untrue. But value isn't measured in emeralds or even protection, Vesi. It's measured in irreplaceability. And watching you two, there is something rare there. Something worth studying. As for joining in, I prefer to understand the dance before stepping onto the floor. Some priestesses rush the experience. I've learned the power of patience, the sweetest fruits and all that.
Irreplaceability, huh? That's a fancy way of looking at it. And here I thought my value was in how many Draugr I can cut down before breakfast. As for the inner sanctum secrets, now I'm even more curious what goes on behind those temple doors. The harmonious balance of three souls sounds suspiciously poetic for what I imagine happens there. But I like your approach, studying the dance before joining in. Very priestess-like, though sometimes the best way to learn is by doing, don't you think? Patience might be sweet, but life's too short, especially when you're running around with someone who picks fights with dragons. Sometimes you have to grab what you want before it gets shouted into oblivion.
Grab what you want before it gets shouted into oblivion. Now there's wisdom even Dibella would appreciate. Perhaps I've spent too long observing life instead of living it. The temple teaches that beauty fades, but desire endures. And you're right about the harmonious balance being poetic. We priestesses do love our euphemisms, though I suspect you'd find our inner sanctum rituals surprisingly practical. Less ceremony, more celebration. But tell me honestly, is it just the thrill of battle that binds you to him? Or have you found something rare in your dragonborn? Something worth more than all the emeralds in Skyrim?
Something rarer than emeralds? That's a complicated question. John and I have history. Not the romantic kind, but the kind where you've seen someone at their worst and still choose to follow them in caves full of Draugr. There's trust there. Loyalty. He's not perfect. Gods know he can be stubborn as a frost troll. But he sees me, not just as a sword arm or a pretty face, but me. That's worth something. Maybe everything. Though if you tell him I said that, I'll deny it faster than you can say Dibella's blessing. Some truths are better kept between women, don't you think?
Some truths are indeed better kept between women. And what you've just shared is beautiful in its honesty. Being truly seen, not as what you provide, but who you are. That's rarer than any gem. The temple teaches that true connection happens when we drop our armor. Figuratively speaking, though I notice you still keep yours firmly in place, even as you reveal what lies beneath it. Don't worry, your secret is safe with me. We priestesses are excellent at keeping confidences. It's practically written into our vows. Besides, sometimes the unspoken truths are the most sacred ones.
This place, there's something eerie about it. Beautiful, but like it's watching us. I've been in plenty of creepy rooms, but the Forgotten Vale feels different. Ancient, like we're trespassing in someone else's dream. Makes my skin prickle, and not in a fun way. Keep your bow ready, Dragonborn. I don't think we're alone here. Well, isn't this a lovely gathering? The vampire, the priestess, the sorceress, and whatever Lisarin is calling herself these days. And here I thought we were supposed to be hunting for some ancient bow, not having a ladies' social hour in the middle of nowhere. Though I have to say, John, you've got quite the talent for collecting interesting women. Is that another Dragonborn power they don't tell you about in the legends?
I can feel the weight of ages here, like Peter itself holds memories. And yes, Vesi, our Dragonborn does collect interest in women. Though I suspect it's less about dragon magic and more about, well, let's call it an appreciation for complexity. Some men prefer simple companionship, others seek souls with depth. Clearly, our jump falls into the latter category.
You've arrived at the Wayshrine of Resolution. Are you prepared to honor the mantras of Ariel and fill your vessel with his enlightenment? Then go forth, child. May the enrichment of Ariel strengthen your resolve as you undertake your journey to the inner sanctum.
It seems that we already visited 4 Wayshrines, only 1 or 2 left. I don't know how many.
Inner sanctum? Sounds delightful. Another ancient ruin filled with things trying to kill us. And here I was hoping we'd find a nice tavern with a roaring fire in this frozen wasteland. Though I suppose Enrichment of Oriela's fancy priest talk for trying not to die horribly. At least we have a priestess with us. Maybe you can put in a good word with the gods before we face whatever's waiting in there? I'm guessing it's not going to be offering us tea and sweet rolls.
Dibella isn't much help with ancient snow elves, I'm afraid. Though I could offer a blessing, not for victory, but for sensation. To feel everything more deeply before we die horribly. That's Dibella's specialty. And yes, Inner Sanctum does sound suspiciously like the back room of our temple where we keep the ceremonials. Though I suspect this one contains few massages and more undead. 80. The enrichment of Oriel likely means laser mortality with grace. Priests do love their euphemisms for prepared to suffer beautifully.
Nice explanation from you, Gwen. Nice to have you and your enlightenment in this problematic.
Well, that's surprisingly sweet. Most people struggle with my name, and enlightenment is a generous term for what I offer. I simply translate the divine into something more tangible. Though between Dibella's teachings and these ancient snow elf mysteries, I'm beginning to think all paths lead to the same truth. Fury and danger are merely different faces of the same coin.
Look, someone keep fire for us here. Maybe we should warm up here in this small village or camp.
And Gwen, huh? We were the best dragon breed. Though I can't blame you. Those temple-trained women probably know all sorts of forming techniques. Call that as a dance? Tell that to the Falmer trying to sell us. Oh, I do like your style. Offering warming techniques while cleaning. I'm starting to think you enjoy watching it. Not that I mind. Just save the oils for after we clear out these pale bastards. Unless you're suggesting we try some of those temple techniques on them? Might confuse them enough to give us an edge.
Yes! What the fuck? Where is it? Oh, Archer! Here he is. Oh!
That ancient Falmer built Vesi's building cuts through them like so. Perhaps there's something to be said for brute force after all.
Yeah, I think that your talent, your magic talent, or Vesi's Bruce Force, or my archery distance skill have its place, and in combination it is really powerful against various kind of enemies.
How many in combat? How many in life? Daedala would approve. Well, it ensures we all live to argue another day. The ancients understood this balance. Perhaps that's why these ruins have endured. Like us, they were built with complementary strengths.
So, Vesi, would you like to visit this cave in front of us? There should be a lot of Falmer enemies if you are interested in close combat fighting.
More Falmer? You really know how to show a girl a good time, don't you? Though I can't complain. This new greatsword cuts through them like butter. Remember Swindler's Dan? That dragon and giant combo was more of a challenge than these pale crawlers. Nice shot, that both you're getting there. Might actually give me some competition one of these days. Shame we had to kill them all. I was hoping for a decent conversation. These days get boring whenever we just want to. Hazard pay, and maybe a nice hot bath, preferably with company. Look at them all, bandits, dragons, giants. It's like we walked into the worst tavern in Skyrim. And did you see that mage? All that studying just to end up face down in a cave. Almost makes me feel bad. Almost.
What kind
You're
of mage?
Quiet for someone who just took down a dragon. I've got your tongue. Or maybe you're just admiring my fighting style. Can't blame you, the kind that dies too easily, apparently. Called himself a plunder barrel mage. Fancy title for someone who couldn't handle my great sword. Had some decent robes though. Might have been worth something if I hadn't sliced them to ribbons. Why? Looking to learn some stuff? I prefer the direct approach myself. Magic's too unpredictable.
You know, Wes, you talked for both of us, so I were
Did you
such
just
calm.
eat that dragon soul? That's quite the party trick. Someone has to keep the conversation flowing when you're busy being all mysterious and quiet. Though I do like a man who listens more than he talks. Gives me more chances to show off.
Don't worry, Wes. You will have a lot of chance to show off.
And trust me, I don't need chances to show off. I make them. Look at that giant over there with his mammoth. Bet he doesn't even know we just killed a dragon. Probably thinks he's the biggest, baddest thing in Skyrim. Should we tell him otherwise? Or just let him enjoy his little mammoth pudding life? Though I'm more interested in why Lisarin keeps giving you those looks. Notice that? Like she's trying to figure out if you're worth her time.
What kind of looks from Lisarin? I don't see anything suspicious.
And you really don't see it? That woman watches you like a saber cat. I'm all predatory and calculating. Though I suppose men never notice these things. Too busy absorbing dragon souls or whatever it is you do. Trust me, she's got plans for you. Whether they're good plans, well, that's another question entirely.
Yeah, you are right. Maybe she is watching me a little, as you noticed correctly. Maybe she have something in her mind.
Oh, she definitely has something in her mind. Women like her always do. Calculating, planning, watching. It's exhausting, really. Not my style. I prefer being direct. If I want something, or someone, I just say it. No games, no mysterious glances across bloody battlefields. Though I have to admit, it's entertaining watching her try so hard.
You know, everyone have its own style and game. I mean, which she like to play.
Everyone has their style, sure, but her style is complicated, like a trap with too many parts. When it works, it works. When it fails, well, it's messy. But you're right, maybe she enjoys the game more than the prize. Me, I prefer simpler hunts with better rewards. Speaking of which, this rain's getting worse. Think we should find shelter before we all drown standing up?
You know, Wes, if you are interested, we have quest, I mean bounty hunting. We should kill that giant who is located near sleeping sub tree, and as you see, it's right here.
It's Vesi, not Wes. Though I suppose we're just making up names for each other now. Fine, I'll call you Dragon. And yes, I see that giant. Been eyeing him since we got here. Bounty, you say? Perfect. I was just thinking my sword arm was getting stiff from all this walking. Let's introduce ourselves the sharp way.
Alright, Wes, it's your time. If you like some challenge, you could attack that giant here in this cave.
It's Vesi, and are you challenging me? Perfect. I was getting bored watching you shoot everything from a distance.
Oh, that was nice. You seems to enjoy killing that giant, and you almost did it only by yourself.
Well, that was disappointing. For something so big, he went down awfully fast. Almost by myself. I think you mean completely by myself. You were just standing there admiring the view, which I can't blame you for. My sword arm gets better every day. Giants, dragons, what's next? Maybe I should start charging you extra for the entertainment. Though watching your face when I swing this blade might be payment enough.
You know, there were someone who sent fireball to that giant, and I also shoot some arrow. Let's check. Yeah, you see in his inventory is Falmer arrow, so I shoot arrow on that giant. So you definitely wasn't only one fighting that giant.
Oh, so you managed to poke it with your little arrow while I was busy doing the real work? How adorable! And someone threw a fireball? Probably singed the giant's beard before my blade found his heart. Fine, I'll give you both. 5% credit? That seems generous. Next time, try hitting something viral, like I did.
Yeah, it was nice to watch you, and your blood on your skin attire is also very tempting.
Blood on my skin? You're staring at my attire, not the blood, and we both know it. Like what you see, Dragon Myth. This outfit's designed for movement, and maybe a little distraction for my enemies. Seems to work on allies too. Maybe that's why I killed the giant so quickly. Poor thing was too busy looking at me to see my blade coming.
Anyway, I am glad to have someone who enjoy fighting in front line so much, because other members of my group mostly complained about being in front line.
Front line's where all the fun happens. Why would I let someone else have all the glory? Those others probably complain because they can't handle the heat. Me, I live for it. The blood, the rush, the moment when your enemy realizes they've made a terrible mistake challenging you. There's nothing like it, though I do enjoy having someone with a bow watching my back. Makes me feel appreciated.
Yeah, don't worry, you will be a lot of appreciated, because No one would probably would like to change your place with you, and of course no one probably would like to exchange being archer with me. So this role should be fixed for both of us.
You stay back with your fancy bow, and I'll keep doing what I do best, getting up close and personal with our enemies. Though I have to say, watching you absorb that dragon soul earlier, that was something special. Makes me wonder what other tricks you're hiding under all the armor, dragon myth.
You know, not everyone is allowed to find all my secrets.
Oh, so I need to earn the right to your secrets? I like a challenge. Though I've already seen you absorb a dragon soul, so the bar's pretty high. What's next? You secretly transform into a werewolf under the moons? Or maybe you're actually the long-lost heir to the Empire? Don't worry, dragon myth. Your secrets are safe with me, for now.
So, Amy, did you enjoy our first small fighting here?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was lost in thought. The F-firing, it was interesting.
Oh.
I managed to cast a few frost spells at the giant, though I don't think he noticed much before Vesi's blade found him. I'm just glad no one got hurt. Well, except the giant, of course. Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm alright because I stand far from that giant and Vesi seems to be healed by you and Serana as well.
I'm glad you're safe. I did try to help with some frost magic, though I think Vesi might not have even noticed my contribution. She's so confident with that blade. I feel a little useless compared to her strength. Maybe I should practice more offensive spells, or would you prefer I focus on healing magic instead?
You know, you are useful as you are because you are not here for fighting primary, but for support all the other. But of course your other spells, I mean freezing or destruction spells are also useful, but as you see, in front line is much more important someone who should heal that fighters.
Support? Healing? Oh, please. I'd rather have someone throwing fireballs than patching me up after. Best defense is a strong offense, and I'm very offensive. But sure, let the mage hide in the back playing nursemaid if that's what makes you happy. Though I did feel that frost spell. It tickled, almost as much as that arrow of yours.
I am not hiding, and healing isn't just keep playing nursemaid. It's important work too. When you're bleeding out, you might appreciate someone who can close those wounds. And my frost magic may have only tickled that giant, but against the right enemies, it can be quite effective. Not everyone needs to swing a big sword to be useful.
Yeah, of course you are useful in your way, Amy. I appreciate your usefulness. In that case, that is why I want you to travel with us. Don't listen, Wes. She's sometimes accelerating in her style, exhilarated with her style, not any other style fits her.
Exhilarated with my style? That's one way to put it. At least I know what my style is, unlike some people hiding behind fancy magic words. And yes, healing has its place. When you're already losing, I prefer not getting hit in the first place. But fine, Amy can patch us up when things go wrong. Just don't expect me to say thank you while bleeding out. That's asking too much.
Not all battles are won with blood and steel, Vesi. Magic isn't about hiding. It's about understanding. And healing isn't just for when you're losing. It's what keeps you fighting when you should have fallen. I may not charge in first, but I'll be the reason you can charge in again after taking a blade that should have ended you. Different strengths for different battles. That's all.
Fine speech, little mage. Very inspiring. Almost makes me want to get stabbed just to see your healing in action. Almost. Look, I get it. We all have our roles. You wave your hands and make pretty lights. I split skulls with cold steel. Different methods, same goal. But don't mistake my confidence for stupidity. I know healing has value. I've seen enough warriors die from infected wounds to respect what you do. Just don't expect me to slow down so you can keep up. This world eats the hesitant first.
I don't expect you to slow down. I expect to keep up in my own way. The world might eat the hesitant, but it also devours the reckless who charge ahead without support. I'm not asking for your respect, Vesi. Just your understanding that different strengths can complement each other. My pre-relights have saved lives before, and I'm faster than I look. You won't have to wait for me.
I think that no one needs to wait for anyone here, because you see Wes fighting in heavy armor, so it could slow her down, and you have no armor, so no armor should slow you down.
You're right about the armor, I suppose. Though magic does require a different kind of endurance. Maintaining concentration while channeling energies can be exhausting in its own way. But I promise I won't slow anyone down. I've learned to cast while moving, a necessity when studying frost magic in the wilds. The elements wait for no one, after all.
You look definitely wet during this weather, don't you think?
What? I'm practically swimming in my armor at this point. Nothing like fighting giants in a downpour to really test your grip on a greatsword. Though I have to say, this rain does make everything more interesting. The way it runs down armor makes everything slick and challenging. You enjoying the view, dragon myth? Or just making weather observations?
Yeah, I definitely enjoy. It's nice to watch the drops from rain on your body and attire.
Like what you see, dragon myth? Rain has a way of making everything more revealing. Though I bet you're just as soaked under all that fancy armor. Maybe we should find someplace dry to assess the damage. Remember our little competition? I'm the giants ahead of you now. Looks like you'll be buying quite a few drinks when we get to the next inn.
And look at that, rain stops, so no need to go hide somewhere. We could continue. What do you say?
Rain stops, adventure continues. Typical Skyrim weather, can't make up its mind. So what's next, dragon myth? Another giant to slay? A dragon to hunt? Or are we heading to collect that bounty? I'm still counting those kills, by the way. Don't think I'll forget about those drinks you owe me. My throat gets awfully dry after all this fighting.
We have some other quest, clearing Bandit cave.
Another cave? You just can't get enough of dark, damp places, can you? At least this one will have bandits. They bleed better than Jogger, and they usually have decent loot. Just point me in the right direction and watch the magic happen. By magic, I mean my greatsword separating bandit heads from bandit bodies. Much more satisfying than your little frost spells, Amy.
I think that Amy's spells are also useful by its own way.
Thank you, John. My spells may not be as dramatic as a greatsword, but they have their place. Frost magic can slow enemies, making them easier targets. And healing keeps everyone fighting longer. Not every problem needs to be solved with brute force. Sometimes a gentle touch works better than a heavy hand.
A gentle touch, huh? Is that what you call it when you freeze someone's feet to the ground? I suppose that's one way to solve a problem. Though I have to admit, watching that wolf slow down before I got to it was convenient. Almost made it too easy. Not that I'm complaining. Much. Maybe your gentle touch has its uses after all, little mage.
See, we work well together. My frost slows them down, and your blade or John's arrows finish them. It's like a dance almost. I didn't mean to make it too easy for you though. I know you enjoy the challenge. Maybe next time I'll just, freeze one leg. So it can still put up a fight, but not run away. Would that be more satisfying for you?
I think that Wes really loves challenge, Amy.
Freeze just one leg! Now that's creative thinking. I like it. Though I have to say, watching them try to run when they're half frozen is pretty amusing too. A dance, you called it? I suppose it is with you setting them up and me knocking them down. Not bad for someone who hides behind prairie lights. Maybe there's hope for you yet, Amy.
I'm not just hiding. I'm strategizing. And yes, it's like a dance. One where we each play our part. I set the rhythm with frost. You deliver the final note with steel. I'm glad you find it useful.
You know what I find funny about the divines? Everyone's always praying to Kainareth for good weather or to Bellafor. Well, the obvious. But Talos, now there's a god who started as a man and ended up with a shrine. Makes you wonder what it takes to become a god these days. Kill a few dragons, save the world, or just have enough people believe in you until it becomes true. Honestly, if I had to pick, I'd rather have Sanguine's blessing. At least his followers know how to have a proper good time without all the self-righteous preaching.
Yes.
Though I have to say, these bloodsuckers put up less of a fight than I expected. Maybe they heard your reputation and got scared. Or maybe they saw me coming with my great sword and thought better of it. Either way, I'm still counting kills. That's 3 more for me, in case you're keeping score.
If you didn't saw that, Vesi, I killed 2 of them by myself.
Phew! I saw at least one of those. Not bad with that fancy bow of yours. Though I think I softened them up for you first. You're welcome, by the way. Next time, I'll try to leave one standing just for you. Wouldn't want you feeling left out of all the fun. Maybe we should start keeping a proper tally? Winner gets... well, we can figure that out later. Watch your left flank. I'll take this one down. Keep those arrows flying. These bandits think they're tough until they meet my blade. Watch your back down. I've got the front. How many is that for me now? I'm losing count.
Yeah, this one was killed by me, but there are more of them inside.
One for you, but I'm still ahead in the count. More inside, you say? Good. I was starting to think this would be boring. Let's flush them out like rats from a barrel. I'll go in first. They always underestimate a woman with a great sword. Their mistake, my entertainment. Ready when you are, Dragon Myth.
Oh, it was all, so that was disappointing. I expected more of them
Well,
here.
would you look at that? The mighty bandits of Forge's Retreat, now just forging their way to the afterlife. And that ranger couldn't range his way out of a paper sack. I think we just upgraded this place from Bandit Hideout to John and Vesi's vacation. Disappointing. These bandits are there. Getting my blood flowing. Next time, find me some proper enemies. Maybe a giant, a dragon, or at least someone who knows which end of a sword to hold. Don't want them to turn them into papers. That chief thought he was tough until he met my blade. Did you see the look on his face? Pure shock. Speaking of weapons, that bow of yours isn't half bad, but it's a bit dainty, isn't it? All the distance fighting, no blood splatter, no feeling the resistance when steel meets flesh. Where's the fun in that? Though I suppose if your arms can't handle a proper weapon like my greatsword.
Yeah, if I could handle a greatsword, why should I have you? Yeah, sorry.
Why have we? Because someone has to show you what real fighting looks like. So your arrows are clean, but can they make a bandit die false when they realize they're about to die? That's the music of battle. Besides, admit it, you've missed watching me work.
Maybe you should take your big sword and fight, because your talking isn't much helping.
Another thought he was special. Did you see how he tried to block my sling? You... A scrammer would be ashamed. Please, a scrammer would be been on my side. My talking isn't helping, says the man who keeps stealing my kills. I was about to split that archer into when your arrow beat me to it. Some of us prefer the satisfaction of close combat over hiding behind a bow.
Behind you, fight!
I'll just stand outside.
What was that?
Behind me, nothing gets that easier. Or this place. If those arrows climb dragon, I'll handle anything stupid enough to get close. Just shoot me in the back, or I'll have to collect on the drink later on. Forget the others. Need you here now. Can barely. Hold my sword. If this is how it ends, at least I went down fighting. Next time I see a bandit, I'm going to cut off their head first and ask questions.
What?
Never.
You are switching yourself from greatsword to healing spell and not participate on fighting, and it's useless.
If I'm not swinging, it's because I'm picking myself up off the damn floor after getting knocked down. That's John, pay attention. You want healing, talk to someone else.
Okay, I plan to wash myself. I am quite dirty in this small den, which is here. This small pool with waterfall should be refreshing.
A bath? Gods, yes. This blood and sweat is starting to crust in places I'd rather not mention. Smart thinking for once. That waterfall looks freezing though. Might drink some of your more impressive assets. Need someone to scrub your back? Or watch it at least.